Go, we can start. Go, yeah, guys, we good. We good.
Turn me up in headphones. Yeah. Yeah. Busy. Let's get into it.
Peace, love, and happiness, so I can grab the piece. Start wildin' and clapping shit. Running with the rock in the jungle before Jumanji, nigga. Knocks come to not get low. Be hard to find me, nigga. Back talk, depending on the size. There's levels, my guys. Call me a clown to have my 2 cents. Show you my penny wise. You and me, mano, we mano. Gangsta, we gon' see. Call the Uber, bring it to you. Now this is Stupid Eats. Serve a plate to get served, boy. I'll send the word, boy. Your youth start to shoot, work it back like you heard, old boy. That's a personal conversation between the guys. Looking at Divvy like who ordered lobster with side of fries. Still ghetto, you still feel away. We still handle our problems with the steel of metal. Real settle, Henny in your face, stand still, fellow. Pocket taps better to give than receive, so let them like that money.
What's good? Special college football, college basketball, college let's just say NCAA edition. What up? This is your boy DJ Duya, of course, and I got my man Drew in the building. Coach Drew.
It's good, y'all. Morning, ready to go.
Busy in the building too. Looking like a real.
I'm just trying to recruit. I'm just here to recruit.
So we're gonna. I know you guys got a lot of stuff to do today, so I'm just gonna get right into the topics here. This week, this is the November, as of November 11th, the college football playoffs. Let me just get the background music going too. Right now, there's Ohio State's number 1 as they're undefeated, 9-0. Indiana number 2, they're 9-0 as well. Texas A&M 9-0, they're number 3. Then we got a few 8-1 teams. We got Alabama, Georgia. Alabama's number 4, Georgia's number 5, number 6 is Texas A&M, 7 Ole Miss, 8 Oregon. They're number 8. That's only one. We'll get into that. 8, and then number 9 is Notre Dame. Notre Dame 9 with 2 losses. Texas with 2 losses. Rounding in is at number 10. Oh, okay. Miami is still in the mix.
All I'm saying is that Florida State loss makes me feel like that Florida State loss was a fluke.
Miami 11, and then we got
Texas
Tech, and number 12 is who's that? Number 12?
South Florida. Okay, so damn, this is interesting. So I'll go to you first, Drew. What do you think about the selection teams, or whatever they call them, man? Selection committee. Well,
selection committee's picks.
I mean, the brackets right now. It's not bad. I'm not sure the way Miami should be in with them 2 losses, but the thing is that these next few weeks, everything's gonna play itself out. So right now, it's not too bad. Texas Tech, they're doing well. They front running in the Big 12. For someone to be undefeated in the Big 12, they should be a little higher, maybe at least 5. But I guess the committee thinks Georgia is better, and they probably are, like on paper. But they're undefeated and they're in first place. So not like today, Georgia and Texas plays today. That's going to play itself out when it comes to the rankings and stuff like that.
Right.
South Florida, a lot of people, they're having a good year. They're a group of 5 program. So a lot of people don't believe they should be in the bracket because they're not in a power conference, but they're having a great year.
Right.
And they're the 12 seed. So, they'll have to play one of the top teams. As far as the top 4 is concerned, I probably would still have Indiana at number 1. And the other 3 is about right.
Okay. Shit. Well, so Biz, he's all right. Biz, what do you think about the committee's picks here?
I will make 2 changes. I'm sorry. Miami they look so good in the beginning of the season, and they start to crack USF. I get it, very big hype team. I like all it, but I definitely think this is just me. I believe Utah belongs in there, and I definitely believe Vanderbilt belongs in there. But I really believe they belong in there, both of them. Vanderbilt's fucking resume, even with their losses, their schedule was tough. They weren't even supposed to be where they're at right now to even be in this conversation, to even be in the top 20. Some of us didn't believe that. They just started really making a name for themselves last year. To be where they are right now, I kind of think they deserve to be, if not the 12th spot, the 11th spot. And Utah's offense, I mean, once again, though, Utah hasn't really played nobody super crazy. So maybe we can keep Miami in there. Maybe since Florida comes out, at number 12, they come out. Miami moves to number 12 and put Vanderbilt at 11. I just don't. I really believe Vanderbilt belongs in there.
It's crazy though, because Vanderbilt is ranked higher than them. So
Ranked higher than who?
Than Miami.
Right. You got so many SEC teams also. I think that's another thing. You got Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and you got four SEC teams. I don't think it really could probably be 6 in there. Oh, you got 5, Ole Miss as well. So that's way too many teams to be in there. Then plus Texas beat Vanderbilt, which I think knocked them out the playoff contention last week. So that's
Drew, I mean,
it's too many teams for me in the SEC.
But we can't punish a team for being good, though, man. We can't just give teams. I mean, granted,
but you got to reward the other. I mean, you get 4. Like if you win your conference, you automatically get in.
That's true.
And then you go. So that's 5 automatic bids right there. And then you got to the Big Ten is good. The SEC. So you got to kind of find that balance. That's what I'm saying. Because Texas, I mean, I don't know. They really should be in there right now, but they beat Vanderbilt and they've been on a run. Tonight will definitely clarify, but I think they lose tonight, so I think that's going to knock them out the playoffs. This season.
You would see. So you would like to see a University of South Florida versus Texas A&M.
Well, I think because I do believe a team like in a group of 5 deserves to get in, just to see if they can really compete on that level. They won a league. Now, is some teams in the SEC probably better than South Florida? Yes, but you got to get those teams in those conferences.
Respectfully.
Right.
But has there been a history of these teams coming in and making a name like? Well,
yeah. Look like a program over the years, like a Boise State, when we used to do the bowl thing, and Boise State would play like Oklahoma, years ago when they beat Oklahoma with Adrian Peterson. Boise State has several years, that's like a mid-major program, like a South Florida, where they have a great year, then they play a top program and they compete and they win. So they showed over the years that programs like that can compete. Now, can they make a national title run? Probably not, but they deserve the opportunity to get that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Look at Cincinnati a few years ago with Sauce Gardner and them.
Yeah.
When they went to the Final Four and they lost to Alabama. You know what I mean? They had a great run. You know what I mean? And they was holding their own with Alabama. Alabama got the best of them. So history shows those teams can hold their own. I think one is deserving.
What do you think, Em? You want me to put the teams back up there again? Can y'all hear me? No.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if M can hear you.
Em, you hear him?
Yep, what's good?
Okay,
Yep.
you hear us?
What do you think?
Yeah, I heard y'all. Y'all
okay.
wrong, but it's okay.
Yeah. Here we go with this, man.
Yo, listen, y'all got to remember the college football playoff is all about, what's the bottom line? Money in them bowl games, correct? After the shit that they seen last year with SMU, South Florida is not making it. They're not. They'll take a 3-loss SEC team in a heartbeat over South Florida. They won't. They don't care.
The committee got them in, and that's the committee pick right now. That's
because of the stupid whatchamacallit shit where the Power 5 gets automatic bids. They're gonna get rid of that shit soon. Watch.
They probably
They're gonna get rid of the automatic bid.
That's the whole purpose of the playoffs, giving everybody an opportunity.
Right.
That's the whole purpose of them creating playoffs.
But I just wanted to ask you, Drew, because like I get it to give everybody a chance to see what school deserves it. Because sometimes you'd be surprised when school competes. Anything's given, any given Saturday in college. You think what I'm saying? Any given Saturday in college. So I get it where you might be able to see a I don't even want to jinx this shit, but you might see a Notre Dame upset Oregon and then go upset at Ohio State. It's like, what the hell? To see shit like that, even though it's not going to happen, we live for shit like that. You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
So Texas upset Texas A&M or
But look at last year. Like people didn't think Arizona State could really make no noise, and Cam Scatterbull and them dudes almost beat Texas.
Yeah, they did
in the first round. Like that game, that got Cam Scatterbull. I mean, he probably would have went to the pros, but that got his name out there.
But that got him. That got him a started spot on Giants.
Right.
That was balling. I didn't know about him until that game. I'm gonna be real with you.
Right.
I didn't know about him until that game.
I watched him a little bit, but I watched that game. He was doing his thing. I was like, yeah, he's gonna be good.
Telling you a bold-faced lie.
They was trying to fire Ryan Day after the Michigan loss.
I was watching them by accident because it was Arizona State and it was always the late game on like a Saturday night and nothing else was on. So I'm like, hey, let me see.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
I was in bed trying to find something to watch to put me to sleep. And I said, this game will put me to sleep because I ain't really into neither one of these teams. I was upset with Bama, and I was like, yo, who is this damn Mike All-Star ass nigga running like this?
Yo, the crazy shit is that's the same way how I started watching Colorado a lot because it was always on late. Same reason why people started watching when I was younger. I was watching BYU, and even like when it's college basketball, I used to start it. That's how I found about I'm gonna show my age. Mike Bibby and Miles Simon in Arizona because it was always the late game, the last game on. So, but they need to stop this automatic bid bullshit. Like, just pick the best 12 teams and let them go. Miami's not one of the best 12 teams. They're not. It's just the fact that they're in the ACC. The ACC is weak this year.
Carson back.
Watch your mouth.
And not trying to be funny. Yes, I'm a Dame fan.
That Florida State loss was a fluke. I don't care. Now that I see what they was really about, I'm like, man, they wouldn't do that again.
Yes, I'm a Dame fan, but sooner or later they need to put their foot down and be like, yo, y'all got to join the conference. Not just y'all play whoever the hell y'all want to play. We've been doing that for so long.
No, that they don't. They not in the ACC as far as football is concerned, but they still play about 5 schools in the ACC every year.
Understandable, but you can't have the top 5 get in, and if Notre Dame's relevant, that's automatically 6 because they're independent. And if you go look at the NCAA,
that's true.
It's like Notre Dame, UConn, and like Navy. Like, no. And I think they did them a just wrongful, whereas we'll let you join us as a basketball, but you can't join us football.
All they sports is ACC other than football. They know the Dame. They schedule. They schedule is top tier every year. People always say they don't play nobody, but that's not true.
But you know why they never schedule. But you know why they didn't join football, right?
They don't have to.
No. You want me to tell you the real reason why? Like, I'm a Notre Dame fan through and through. It's because of the money. They're the only team in the whole world that is on every single Saturday on their own.
Right. Network. They don't have that. My point, they don't have to. There's Notre Dame.
Then no, you got no. And I love Notre Dame to death, but they should have to join the conference.
If you don't have to, and you get a brand name, and teams are them conferences is begging Notre Dame, like the Big Ten.
Cool. Yeah, I understand all that, but now you're saying you're locking up spots for the Power 5, right? After you lock up the spots for the Power 5, regardless of who Notre Dame play, if they go 7-0, 8-0, automatically they're going to get a spot. Why? Because they're Notre Dame and they
absolutely. But if you go 8-0, but my thing is, they play a gauntlet of a schedule. To me, their schedule is like top 5 in the country every year.
Look, no, it's not. Look at their schedule.
I'm looking at it right now. You play. Listen.
Okay. They play Texas A&M and Miami. Hold on. Texas A&M. That's it.
They play. Hold on. You got. You're not. Miami's good. Texas A&M is good. Purdue's a Big Ten opponent. That's the Big Ten.
We're not good.
That's a big.
I understand what you're saying, but they're not. Football wise, they're not. But go ahead, continue.
So those are all high major programs. Purdue's high major. Arkansas is the SEC. Boise State is solid. NC State is ACC. USC. Where's it weak at? Boston College. Navy.
You're saying the programs, the names are, but the programs are down this year. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
the
not the
difference.
You can't control that though. That's
you can't control that by far. You can't control that.
You can't control that. But I remember when I was younger, Notre Dame played Michigan all the time. I don't remember the last time they played Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
They don't play Michigan no more because they play the ACC schools now. They play 5 ACC schools.
Then if I'm playing 5 ACC schools, go join the ACC conference.
They don't have to. They the brand.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying,
They're Nike.
I get that and understand that, and they will always play USC and Purdue because of the 2 trophies they fight over: the Shillelagh Trophy and there's another trophy that I just know that from me playing college football. But all I'm saying is this: if you want to play 5 teams in the conference but not join the conference,
that's the agreement they got.
I know. I'm just saying, I'm just talking shits and giggles, but I'm just saying.
I see from both sides of the token. I see where like the programs are always going to be big. They can get high recruits. Their recruiting class may be just bad this year, so I get where Drew's coming from because all these schools are big name, kind of fucking. They got it. You get what I mean? But also they're having down years, so it's kind of like both of you have fucking points. That shit is hard to because Notre Dame. Truth be told, I was in the beginning of the year, Drew, right? Because I look into schedules, but I look into schedules like once you get to that 3-0, that 4-0, shit like that. They were 0-2 and still a top 25.
Because
so
the first two,
baffled.
Because the first two they played was Miami and Texas A&M, who was both ranked in the top 5 in preseason. That's why.
And they got jerked in that Texas A&M game.
The Miami game, that kid made a hell of a one-handed catch. I ain't gonna lie.
That's 100. That's true. Listen, I'm not taking them from what I'm saying is they was 0-2 ranked 20th, and you had 0-2 schools, and I just didn't get that because as soon as the school lost, one of those 2-0 schools lost and went 2-1, them bitches was out the rankings, and there's another school moving in. So I was confused, and Notre Dame just kept staying around. So I was wondering what was that about.
But it's also like with the SEC because they're always so top heavy for us that it's like if you're, let's say Georgia's 2 and Texas is 7, just using that for example, whatever. If Texas beat Georgia, Texas has to be higher than Georgia, but you can't drop from 2 to 15. You're still going to be in the top 10.
Well, that depends on how the scores though. If the game is a blowout, then they might drop if it's close.
Yeah.
Was those games blowouts? The Miami and Texas A&M games, were they blowouts?
No, both of them was lost by 3.
Let's move on to the to Drew's games of the week. So we got Notre Dame versus Pitt, Texas versus Georgia, Oklahoma versus Alabama, South Florida against Navy, TCU against BYU, NC State versus Miami, and Iowa versus USC. I'll start with you, M. Which one is your favorite on that?
Out of all of them, the only one I'm really gonna probably be able to watch because I gotta do stuff with my son is probably the Texas Georgia game at 7:30. But I'm gonna tell you the sleeper game of everything he put up there. All of them is kind of like wishy-washy. But if TCU messes around and beats BYU, bye BYU. Don't even look at the playoff. don't even look. You had a good little 8 weeks. Other than that, it's kind of like Alabama should beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma defensive lineman is out. Nobody cares about the NC State Miami game. That's a wash. Iowa could beat.
That's a playoff.
Beat USC.
All those playoff implications.
But they're playoff implications because they're in the ACC, and the ACC is shit right now. That's why.
Yo, stop with this ACC.
Yeah, you killing me with that, right?
It is. It's the truth this year. It's shit.
Yo, y'all can have one down here, man.
All right, Biz. What do you think about and then Drew, I'll have you break it down after that.
I'm gonna be real, not just because I'm an Alabama fan, but my game of the week is definitely Bama versus Oklahoma. I get that there's a defensive guy down, but that damn quarterback, man, I forgot his name. He uses his feet. He has an arm, Bama can't. Our run game has not been it. Jam Miller, I don't know what's been going on with him, but our run game has not been it. And there's only gonna be so many games we can keep putting it on Ty Simpson and our receivers, Bernard and all these guys that make big plays, Ryan Williams, and we can only do that so many games, bro, before not even a team catches on, just because it wears and tears on a kid. So it's big because if we lose that, we're out of the top 4. We could say we're out of the top 4 for sure. We're gonna be still in the top 10, and that's pushing it. But to have 2 losses, we're definitely gonna be out of that top 4, possibly even out of the top 10. I'm gonna take it back. We possibly could be in that still top 12, but with 2 losses, it's gonna be hard to stay around in the top 10.
But see, Drew, not Drew, to cut you off. If y'all mess around and still go to the SEC title game, y'all and win the SEC title game, y'all get in. It's like a given. So that's why I hate that the SEC goes East and West, because you can have a down year and still be in the championship game, mess around, win the championship game, and you're in the. You know what I'm saying?
They don't do the East and West no more. I don't think though.
Yes, they do.
Huh?
That's how. Yes, they do. The SEC
They
does.
do?
Yeah.
I think they stopped that. I could be wrong. I think they stopped that though.
What? So just the top 2 go to the championship?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember a long time ago it used to be East and
No,
West.
they used to. Right.
It used to be
Yeah.
East and West. Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore either.
Uh,
Drew, so break down the games. How you pick some of those games, or all of them, really.
I picked these games. All of them got, to me, playoff implications. Like Notre Dame, if they lose, they could be done when it comes to playoffs. Pittsburgh still has the chance to win the ACC and go to the ACC championship game.
They still have to play Miami, right? I think they played Miami the last game. Yep.
Right. So they still have a chance to get in the playoffs if they win the ACC. This Texas-Georgia game is a big one. Texas lose this one, they pretty much done as far as when it comes to the playoffs. I think this is a good game for Arch Manning to really to continue to transcend and show that he could be the player that we thought he can be.
Yeah, this is it.
Oklahoma, I like Alabama, but this is a playoff one too. But I think Alabama wins this easily. I really do. South Florida, we was talking about them. Do they deserve to make the playoffs? And they got a tough one on the road against Navy. And if they lose this one, they pretty much done. So that's why this is a crucial game to play against Navy. Navy's going to be tough. I think Navy might even pull this one out. TCU, BYU, they lost their first game. I think last week. So they can't lose another one. They can't afford to lose another one. So they got to take care of business to stay in the playoff hunt. Same thing with Miami, NC State. NC State has been playing well. I mean, they're not gonna make the playoffs or anything, but they beat Georgia Tech a couple of weeks ago. Kind of hurt their season. So it's interesting to see.
But I don't understand. All right, I don't want to cut you off. Keep going. I'll say it afterwards.
NC State, you know what I mean? So they could give you some problems. So, but it's gonna be hard to beat Miami on the road. Carson Beck has to play better though. He's
always was trash to me, man.
He's been struggling. So, and then this is
a
top
so
25.
Polite. Being
this
so
last
polite.
one, Iowa versus USC. USC still is in the playoff hunt and could make the Big Ten championship game, so they can't afford to lose another game. But Iowa's tough. They play teams tough. Then they'll give USC a tough matchup. I think USC wins, but they'll give them a tough matchup.
So, all right, we got Georgia Tech, right? Georgia Tech. Who did they lose to?
NC State.
NC State.
NC State. They didn't play Notre Dame.
Got one loss.
That was last year? No, didn't they play Notre Dame? No, that was last year. They went.
That was last year. That was last year.
I don't understand how they're ranked over how Miami's in there and Georgia Tech is not in there.
You gotta realize the way you lose two matters. And the way Georgia Tech lost to NC State was bad. So, you know what I mean? They lost to them. Like NC State pretty much controlled that game.
The whole game.
Right.
I didn't even watch that.
Right. So the way you lose matters as well. And you lose like that convincingly.
Was it home?
But let's say that Georgia Tech goes on because right now they could go to the ACC championship. They win the ACC championship. They're in?
No, well, it's going to play itself out because they play Georgia in a couple weeks.
Oh
So
shit!
if they beat Georgia, that's a significant win for them.
But
And
even
they
if
win
they don't, even if they lose to them, they still could make the ACC championship.
right.
If they make the ACC championship and win,
They
are
go to the
they
playoffs.
automatically in?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then Miami really don't have a chance because they
Yeah,
don't
they
have
do.
a chance to make the ACC championship
Why it's not?
Right
because
now, yes, they do.
they already have 2 losses in the ACC.
Hold on. Let me look at the ACC standard. That's why these games are so crucial, though.
SMU, they're all 1-loss teams, and then who else?
So right now, Georgia Tech is in first place. Virginia's they all 5-1. Pitt is in
Right.
first place. SMU, Miami's right there. So let's say any one of these teams lose and they win, they right back in the picture.
Okay.
You know what I
They
mean?
gotta
So
make the A. To me, they gotta make the ACC championship and win
right.
to get
Right.
in.
So the top 2 teams will make it. So right now it's Georgia Tech and Virginia, but Virginia could lose today. Well, Pitt lose today. It's not going to count against them. SMU. So I mean, they still in the picture. You know what I mean? They went out and one of them lose.
I don't understand that would make me upset if I was one of them other ACC teams. Like we're ahead of them niggas, man. Just because this to you and Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and all these people, man.
Yeah.
If I'm just okay, I'm Virginia. I ain't got nothing but Harold Dean in them in basketball. I couldn't even tell you nobody from Virginia in football. Yeah. It's just like Harold Dean and
the Tiki Barber in them.
Okay, Tiki Barber. There we go. There we go.
I got to slide. I'm gonna holler at y'all guys later.
All right, bro.
All right, Biz.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm not as.
All right, listen. Miami got 2 losses, but it was losses that were like they lost to 3 to Louisville, and they lost to SMU.
Another ACC team, though.
Right, and they lost to SMU by 6.
And that's another SEC team. Oh my God!
But my point is, those games they could have won, and Georgia Tech they lost by 14, but it could have been worse. It should have been worse than that.
What I don't get is all right. Let's say you lose, right? You lose. Oh, what happened to him? Let's say you lose 17-19, right?
Mm-hmm.
That counts big for you. But if you win 19-17, it don't matter. It's weird to me, man. The way they look at it, this shit is weird because it's like.
But all this stuff is going to play itself out over the next couple of weeks. That's what I mean. Yeah. The rankings don't impact the playoffs, though. Like it don't really impact the playoffs because you're going to play yourself out.
Right. I get that. I get that. Right. I get that. But because there's still massive amounts of stuff that can happen between now and the end. So how many games that we got left? Like what, 4 or 5? If you count
about 2 or 3 weeks.
Conference, 2 or 3 weeks. So if you count the conference, that's like 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
about a month. We got about a month.
About a month left. Yep. So a lot can happen in a month. And then another thing I don't like about it is like September don't matter.
Well, it does because with the thing with September is now you get the more bigger of the matchups now. Like normally in the past, you normally wouldn't get like a Texas playing Ohio State early in the season, so you get those bigger matchups, or you wouldn't see like a Texas A&M playing Notre Dame, all the time, or something like that, or Miami versus Notre Dame. And you may get it, but not. So it still matters because those early matchups, those super conference teams typically wouldn't play each other like that.
But I feel like they forget about those games when it comes down to it. In this stage of the season, let's say like
not you think so because that's when strength of schedule comes into a part.
Because like the rivalry games, let's look at the rivalry games. Like if Ohio State loses to Michigan, right? They're gonna knock them down, and I'm not saying that they're gonna take them out the playoffs, but they're gonna knock them down, and it's gonna be a bigger knock on them
It's right. It's going to affect them seeding
now
wise.
than if they lost to them in September. Let's say they played them the first game in September, and that game will be looked at more scrutiny now than it would be in September.
Yeah, that's true. But I still think if you strength of schedule still plays a part. The committee's still gonna go back and look at that.
Right.
It's kind of similar to the
I
NCAA
ain't gonna
tournament.
lie to you. I felt like the computers did a better job, man.
You think so?
I feel like the computers was way better than
But back then the computers was only picking like 2 or 4 teams.
I know they only picked 2 teams. They only picked 2 teams, the 1 and the 2. Right. But I felt like we got the number 1 and the 2 teams. Like, I think the computer did a better job than the committee.
But I like this format because you giving more programs an opportunity to get the national championship.
No, definitely. And I'm not saying I don't like. I mean, we've been wanting playoffs since fucking Tommy Frazier and them. I was
absolutely
really watching it. But I think that there's a lot of bias with the committee. And I feel
yeah, for sure. I mean, SEC and Big Ten is always gonna get they're gonna get it's definitely biased, especially the SEC.
Yeah, they think that's the 5th NFL conference.
Right. But the Big Ten has caught up with the SEC over the last, I say, 5 years.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, and they get, and the Big Ten got a lot of history too. But the ACC and the Big 12 is a big difference. Because the ACC and the Big 12 is about the same. The ACC may be a little stronger.
Yep.
In my opinion, but they're not that much of a difference.
This ACC slander got to stop, man. These teams.
I like the ACC. It is not as strong as the Big Ten or the SEC, but they do got quality programs like Clemson, Florida State. That's the problem. The top programs are down. They're struggling.
Right.
So you get the slander. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be surprised if any of them ACT teams that make the playoffs.
I saw you put up that Marcus Freeman would be a candidate for the Giants.
That's the word. The NFL personnel people, they love him. He was being considered for the Bears job last year.
He was. And then they re-upped him though, didn't they?
I think so. But the Giants, they say the Giants like him a lot too. So
how would that work? Would he have to, if he was to take? I guess that's probably a contractual thing, but the Giants sign. Do they have to pay or anything like that? Like,
no, I think that contract could just get terminated.
Okay.
That Notre Dame was or they would have to probably buy him out some, but it wouldn't be like the full contract.
Would he have to buy? I was going to say, does he have to buy himself out? I guess the Giants would commit some of that money, but
it'll probably be some kind of fee that the Giants would have to probably pay. But the full if he takes that job, there's Notre Dame just wouldn't have to pay him no more.
Right. And I mean, he's probably getting upwards to what 30 something million, maybe. Probably more.
I'm not. Maybe probably about $7 million a year.
Okay, so
I could check that, but I'm not actually sure what but he's definitely a hot commodity right now.
I just think the Giants need somebody that's already been in the NFL with some.
He's getting $9 million a year.
$9 million. And what is this? His contract length is what?
2030.
Jesus.
Right.
Oh my God. That's not that far away. It's like 5 years, but it seems like it's so far away.
Right. But I don't know if he's an NFL guy. But a lot of not a lot, but several franchises have,
What college quarterbacks come to mind? College quarterbacks. What college coaches come to mind that have made the jump to you? Because I remember Steve. I was saying Steve.
The closest, the most recent one, he was really an NFL guy, is Pete Carroll.
He's already in the league, yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So
Urban Meyer didn't work out. Steve Spurrier didn't work out.
Those dudes flopped. I got Saban, he was okay. But he didn't do a great job. But a lot of those guys, a lot of those college guys, they don't have the same kind of power like they do on the college level. So
Right.
that's why a lot of the dudes flamed out. Like the best one most recently is Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. I feel like Lane Kiffin, because Lane Kiffin was already in the league. I feel like Lane Kiffin could go to the league.
Right.
Decent. You know what I mean? I mean, he's definitely resurrected his career because
or a lot
Raiders,
of people like
I thought he was done.
A lot of people like the USC coach as well.
What's his name? I'm not familiar with. I haven't been watching them boys.
He used to coach at Oklahoma. He coached
Oklahoma.
It'll come to me. Hold on. But a lot of people like him too.
Yeah, because he went from Oklahoma, and that's
Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, he went from there to from Oklahoma to there and brought,
because he had that run when he had Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray,
yep.
Jalen. Is it Hurts Jalen for the Eagles?
Hurts,
yep. Well, he had all those guys, so
he got a couple Heisman Trophy winners.
Yeah, he got about 2 or 3.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Then he had Caleb.
He's underperforming with USC though. USC is a historic program, man. I mean, they're gonna put the pressure on you, and they getting hell of NIL and money from their like the alumni.
Yeah, hella NIL, and people didn't think it's NIL. You get the players get NIL. They also get revenue shares as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they get revenue share. So the big because NIL is basically just like companies paying you to sponsor the market their company.
Just your name and your likeness.
Right. Or your jersey or whatever.
Right.
Revenue share is what the school you getting from the school pretty much. And the school the school directly pays you now too.
God. All right. So let's move on to your Heisman picks right here. Break down your Heisman picks. We got Jeremiah Love, Diego Pavio, Fernando Mendoza. Just break those down, and then we got more on another page. But just break it down for now.
Well, Jeremiah Love is having a great year. You see 988 yards rushing, 254 yards receiving, 13 touchdowns. You see his impact on the rushing and receiving. He gets in the end zone, so he deserves. Diego Pavia, heck of a season. I like him a lot. You see 2,400 yards passing, 21 touchdown passes, but he has 613 yards rushing and 7 TDs.
That's crazy.
So he's having a heck of a season. You know what I mean? And the game against who was it? Who they played last week? Auburn was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He had a heck. He threw the last 2 games he's played. He's thrown closer to 400 yards.
Wow.
So he's playing well. Fernando Mendoza, Indiana's my number 1 team right now. They had a tough one against Penn State, almost lost that. He didn't have a great. He didn't have a
coach. Fucked that up, man.
Right. He didn't have a great game, but he made enough plays to win it, and when it counted. So I like that out of him.
And that's the thing I was saying in the last segment. It's like, they just now. If they would have lost, they would be knocked down, but they barely won. So it's like,
But if they would have lost, I still would have them like in the top 10 though, or top 5.
Right. But you wouldn't
not
have
top 5, but top 10,
or number 2, or number 3, or number 4. You may have them in the top 10 still, but they don't. Barely beating them doesn't go against the way that you getting blown out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't. It's weird the way they do that. But here's the second. You got
Ty Simpson playing a heck of a year. Alabama's making another run. You got 61 yards passing yards. You got 21 TDs. 1 pick all season is impressive.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Julian Sayin, big time year with Ohio State. Similar numbers to Simpson. He's 24 TDs. He has 4 picks, but he's playing great. And then Marcel Reed, I just like how he's got Texas A&M in contention to make a run. He's had a pretty good year. He got 19 TDs and 6 picks. So he deserves some recognition as well.
What about Dante Moore? That's what my boy Sims. What up, Sims?
I like I like Dante Moore as well. I just think those guys are having a little better of a season. I saw Dante Moore last week against Iowa, and he didn't play his best game. So the last couple of games hasn't been the best. So to me, he's not in the same conversation right now with these guys. Now NFL,
that's what I was just about to ask you.
NFL, he has
who's
a higher ceiling than probably all of them.
Okay.
Other than Mendoza.
Then you're saying as a quarterback.
Right.
Okay. Because I think that Jeremiah Love is probably the highest.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Prospect. I would love to see the Jets, because he's not eligible this year, right?
He is.
Oh, he is. I would love the Jets to pair him up with Garrett Wilson. I've really been fighting for Justin Fields, man, but we're gonna have to go in a different direction, man. I mean,
well, even if we do go in a different direction, if you draft a quarterback in the first round, I still think you keep him, just because you don't know what you're getting for these other quarterbacks.
No, definitely.
Right. So you keep him as a vet. Try to cut that salary down some, and just keep him in. You got a vet in there, and he's still young. So I would still keep Fields, draft a quarterback, and I would probably still start Fields next year. And if he's not getting it done, then you go with the rookie you draft.
Mm.
Because really, if you draft a quarterback in next year's draft, you're really throwing away the season next year anyway.
I know. That's the thing. And they don't have, I mean, they're going to give, I don't think they're going to give Aaron Glenn more than 3 years. If he don't get it right by the third year,
he's going right.
Yeah, he's going to be out of there. So those is your Heisman. What? So you think out of the quarterbacks, you say Dante Moore is probably would be the highest prospect wise?
Him or Mendoza. A lot of people like Mendoza as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see nothing from what I've been watching, and I haven't been super locked in on college football like I have in the past, and like I am with the NFL. So I excuse me for not being, as knowledgeable on it, but I don't see anybody that's super touted, this in this draft. That like last year we had a really good quarterback draft. I mean, you had
some good quarterback, but there's no Caleb Williams like, oh, he's a generational or anything like that.
Right.
Like Dante Moore, like he's that traditional. He's about 6'5", got a big arm, that kind of thing. He's mobile some. So that's the ideal guy right there.
How much I'm sorry to cut you off. How much do you think that system plays into it? I mean, there's some players like a Lamar Jackson that is going to probably thrive in almost any system, but how much do you think that the system plays into?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the NFL has changed with that. Normally, in like years ago, like coaches would make it, well, this is what we do. You got to learn how to do this. Now, franchises is like, well, let's cater to his skill set.
Right.
And succeed. You know what I mean? They did that with Lamar initially, and then Lamar improved year by year. You know what I mean? So franchises are trending towards building towards the kid's skill set now. Where back in the days, if you can't drop back 5, you can't drop back 7 and throw or 5 and throw.
Yeah.
You can't play in the NFL.
Well, no.
But them days has changed since like the Michael Vick days and stuff like that.
Right.
Because he was really one of the first. I mean, it was quarterbacks before him, but like the Falcons back then, they changed their offense to fit him, so he could be successful.
Right.
You know what I mean? So over the last 20 years, you've kind of seen that some. You know what I mean? So, but all franchises may not do it. So it all depends on where you go when it comes to that.
That's definitely the truth. So we got I wanted to get into some college basketball. I didn't put up the I know you had sent me the teams before, but I didn't know if that really changed. Like I've been so locked in on the NBA that
whatever you got, we can work with that.
And there was a fire in this morning. Breaking news that the Pelicans let go of Willie Green after the 2 whatever they are start
2-10.
2-10 start. So damn, that's tough, man. But I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the Pelicans, Joe Dumars, and them had higher hopes this year, and unfortunately, they haven't been playing. But Zion, how many games Zion has played this year?
I think maybe 5. I can look it up. What happened?
Right,
What happened to the dude from the Spurs that they had? What's his name? I'm forgetting his name.
Not Herb Williams, right?
No, not Herb Williams. The guard. He was like an elite defender. He played on the Spurs and he got traded there. He ain't played in like 2 years.
I'm trying to think who you talking about.
It's damn, man. What is his name? Hold on, I'm gonna see. Pelicans. I'm gonna get his name. Hold on. Let me look on my phone. I can't believe I can't remember his name. It's damn, what is his name, man?
Hold on. I know who you talking about, but I don't know. I can't get his name as well. But I know now that you bring that up, he was on the Pelicans.
He's on the Pelicans. He's still on there. I'm pretty sure. DeJounte Murray. What the hell happened to DeJounte Murray?
So DeJounte Murray's on the Pelicans?
Yes, he's been on there for like 2 years. He tore his ACL. I know that. But these guys come back from that. And maybe he was, I don't know if it was an ACL or Achilles, but he was definitely, I mean, he's making $26 million over there, and he hasn't played many games. Like,
maybe he's still recovering, because I remember he played with the Hawks for a couple years.
Right. They tried to Achilles. It was Achilles. So in January of 2025, he tore his Achilles. So Achilles.
So he probably still recovering from that.
So Achilles is definitely a longer process than the ACL. So I was wrong on that. Yeah, forgive me on that. But yeah, man. I mean, Zion is trending towards not being a franchise guy. He's trending to be. I feel like Zion could still.
Well, it's not because he can't. Well, that I agree. It's not because he can't play. He's not reliable. From a standpoint, you don't know how many games you're gonna get with him.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So here's your top college basketball players. If you just want to go down the list and just say why you picked these guys.
Okay, well, we go with AJ DeBonsa. AJ DeBonsa is one of, from a skill set standpoint, is ultra talented. He's about 6'8", 6'9", could play on the perimeter, can really shoot it. He could beat you off the bounce, real athletic.
Tracy McGrady comes to mind when I see his game.
Right. No, so he's in a mold of Tracy McGrady, Paul George, and that frame. And defensively, he can guard multiple positions. He's probably one or two guys a lot to go number one in the NBA draft next year. Then you got Cameron Bruiser at Duke. Big time talent. One of the most accomplished high school players to come through within the last 20, 25 years from a standpoint. Wow. He won 3 or 4 high school state championships.
Damn.
And then he won the Night Peach Jam, which is like one of the premier events for high school or AAU. He won that 3 straight years. That's unheard of.
What state is he? Did he come from? California?
They're from Florida.
They're from Florida. Okay.
Right. They played in Florida. You know what I mean? So he's a heck of a talent. I think this Duke team this year might be stronger than the team last year.
If they would have still had Cooper Flagg, they wouldn't have been unstoppable.
Right. So Boozer is tough. I like him for the NBA draft next year to go high.
Yep.
But he's definitely one of the top premier players in college this year. Braden Smith, point guard at Purdue. He's a guy that's, he's that typical old school guard.
He cooked last year in the tournament a little bit though.
Right. He averaged 18-9 last year.
Yeah.
18-9 in the big, that's impressive. So He impacts the game, scoring and dishing it out. So he contributes about 40 points for his team.
That's decent. That's big time.
Right. So Darren Peterson, another highly thought of freshman at Kansas, guy that can really, really score it, 3-level scorer. He's not a super athlete, but he just can fill it up. Good size, about 6'5".
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I didn't really watch.
He was considered like top 2 or 3 players what did with the Bonson, Cameron Boozer.
Was he big time in AAU circuit too?
He played on the Adidas circuit.
Oh, he played on Adidas.
He played on the Adidas circuit, right? You know what I mean. So, and he did a good job on the Adidas circuit. He was highly thought of. You know what I mean. He's someone that the NBA scouts love him as well, and someone to definitely keep an eye on.
So how does that work too? I know you know a lot more about this too than me. Let's say that you play the majority of your time at Adidas, right?
I was on it for 5 years.
Yeah, so you play your majority of your time at Adidas. How much does that play a role in the school that you go to? Based on
a lot.
Some schools are sponsored by Nike. So if you played in for an Adidas team, what's the chances of you going to a Nike school? It
is a chance. I mean, that can happen. Like Zion was an Adidas kid.
Okay.
He went to Duke.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Zion was, when I was in the Adidas circuit.
Yeah.
He was on the Adidas circuit, and he went to a Nike. He went to Duke, and Duke was a Nike program.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Darren Peterson, he went to Kansas because Kansas is an Adidas program.
Yep.
So they that's the relationship. They kind of want to build a relationship, get that guy to stay with the brand. But it's possible. You know, it does happen. You do see Adidas kids go to Nike schools, and you do see Nike kids go to Adidas schools. It's not a norm, but it does happen.
But what about, like, let's say you was in an Adidas school. I mean, you was in the Adidas circuit, and how often do coaches cross recruit? So, like, if the Adidas school, let's say the Nike school, going to the Adidas camps to see players?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So you'll see. So you got to realize, on the college staff, you got the head coach, and then you got 3 assistants.
Yep.
Okay, so the head coach may tell one assistant coach to you scout the Adidas event for 2 days, then you go to the Nike, and then you'll scout the Adidas, and you go to Nike, then you go. So they kind of like rotate.
Gotcha.
So they can get multiple eyes on a kid they might be looking at.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? And then they might send one guy to an Under Armour event. We want you at the Under Armour event to go see this kid, and then you go to like an independent event. So that's how it normally kind of works. And they just kind of rotate just to kind of get multiple eyes on the guys, just kind of get their feedback on what they think the prospect is. And they kind of just go from there.
Okay, so the Lindenborg, that's where we left off at.
Yeah, Lindenborg, big, about 6'8" kid, came from UAB last year, put up some good numbers. Michigan is a contender this year to make a run to the national championship, and he's a big part of that. Yeah, they got some pieces. They got Elliot Cadeau, a point guard that was at North Carolina last year.
Yep.
Along with him, but Michigan definitely can make some noise.
They got rid of Howard. Who's their coach now?
What's his name? He came from Florida Atlantic though. My boy Mike Boynton, that I went to he's the top assistant coach over there at Michigan. He coached Kate Cunningham at Oklahoma State. Give me a second with one of the head coaches.
It says Dusty May. That's what it
Dusty
says?
May, correct. Dusty. So he's the head coach. He came from Florida Atlantic a couple of years ago. Did a good job over there. They had about 2 pros last year going the first round. So Michigan should make another run. Trey Kaufman-Renn, big guy, plays well in the post. Produced another contender this year and should make some noise. And he's going to be a big part of that, along with Braden Smith. I think the favorite to win the Big Ten and make a deep run. I like Purdue a lot this year. Zuby Ejiofor at St. John's was one of the key pieces of St. John's success last year.
Right.
He's the lone returning starter. So a lot of the team will be focused starting with him. They got a lot of talented other guys, pieces on that group, like Ian Jackson, several other guys that came from different schools like Providence, Arizona State. So St. John should make another run, but he's the main guy to really keep an eye on.
Where's he from? Where's he from?
Zuby, I think Zuby's from. He played at Kansas his first year.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure. I think he's from the Midwest. I could be wrong though.
Texas. Well, his high school was Texas.
Right.
Okay.
So, right. He's from Right. So
I mean, it's just I know it changed so much now. Then, and I still have like a traditional in my mindset. It's still like a traditional, St. John's is going to recruit from the Northeast.
Oh yeah, they normally in St. John's, right?
But it's
right,
like
normally you would get New York kids, right?
Yeah.
Right. And Rick Pitino, Rick Pitino, his approach with recruiting right now, he doesn't really recruit a lot of high school kids. He don't believe that in order for St. John's to be in contention every year, that he's to get high school kids. So he's getting kids from the transfer portal really. And maybe recruit maybe 1 or 2 high school kids instead of recruiting like 5 or 6 a year. He's recruiting maybe 1 or 2, and then again everybody else from the transfer portal.
Right.
And so that's why you're not gonna get the traditional St. John's roster with all New York kids and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the prior staff, like Mike Anderson, most of the kids was like half the team might have been New York kids, and then kids from other places. Like you had the Trent. What's the brothers that play on the Spurs and the Wizards now? That was at St. John's. That's pretty good.
Damn, what's their names? I'm forgetting.
Those are my guys right there too. Champagny, the Champagny brother. Well, one of them played.
Yep.
You know what I mean? No, he was one of the key St. John guys before Rick Pitino got there. He was a New York kid. But the old days like Mike Jarvis days and Louis Conaseca with like 12 guys, like half the teams from New York and some was from Jersey. Right now, you're probably not going to see that.
Maryland, that was a heavy. That was
right.
another spot that
Mm-hmm.
John's and Syracuse and a lot of the big East teams. I missed
right.
the Big East, man. It was. I really miss it, man. I wish we could go back to them type of the breakdown like that. I mean, of course, I saw you say so. Before we move on to the last player, right? So I saw you. Remember when we was talking and you said you sent AAU team. I think it was the Artest.
Oh, Riverside.
So there was another New York team I seen with Mashburn, Kenny Anderson.
Yeah, Gauchos.
I was like, damn, you don't like this squad?
Nah. See the thing that Gauchos squad, right? And Gauchos is a legendary program.
I mean,
so along with Riverside may be historically maybe a little stronger than Gauchos in my opinion. I don't know how often those guys really play together.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't know if they played a year or two. And that Riverside team, that's like around our age. They're a little older than us.
Yeah, just a little. That's around our age.
So when they was running around, like they was smacked. They only lost 1 game in like 2 years.
Damn. I see what you're saying. So you're saying the Gauchos team didn't really play too many games together. They just
right. I don't think they did. I don't think because you don't hear like, that team with Jamal Mashburn, Kenny Anderson won this such and such tournament. Like with the Riverside team, they won. It's a banner that they won like 69-1.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Wow. And they won the initial Peace Jam event.
Okay,
back in 1996.
And I was about to say that during the Gauchos era, AAU, like I feel like the Riverside is when AAU that we think of today was kind of being built.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the Gauchos didn't really have that type of AAU.
Right.
They
It was around.
era.
No, it was around, but it wasn't as a big of a deal as it is like in 2025 or as in even back in the 90s.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the Riverside team, like I said, they won the initial Peach Jam. You had like 5 of those guys went to the NBA. You got Elton Brand, Ron Artest, Eric Barkley, Lamar Odom. He was on that team, but he really wasn't a Riverside guy as well. I tell people that when we talk about that team, he's more of a Long Island Panthers guy than a Riverside guy. You know what I mean? But the main guys like that, Anthony Glover, you know what I mean? Those guys all played the major Division I ball, and like 4 of those guys was NBA first round picks.
Yeah. And so you had one last guy. I'm from Kentucky, Owe.
Owe's a solid guard, pretty good. He's a Northeast guy too. Put up good numbers last year at Kentucky. He's returning to Kentucky, and Kentucky should make a run this year. I think they could be, one of the top teams in the SEC and probably make a national title run. National title run, I'll backtrack on that a little bit. I need to see a little bit more, but they definitely should be in contention for the SEC, and he's a big part of that. Yeah. He's one of the best guards in college.
I've definitely seen. I've seen him a little bit. He can fill it up for sure.
Right.
So yeah, man, we're gonna keep an eye out on all those prospects. See how they play all this year. And then we'll, time to time, whoever's doing their thing throughout the year, we'll highlight them as well. So that was our our college show for today. But I still wanted to ask you a couple more questions. So like you were saying, with the college prospects. All right, let's stay in the basketball, because I feel like really I'm not saying that you don't know about football, because you do. Look at your son.
No, you good.
but college basketball is really your wheelhouse, and basketball in general. So, how much does so nowadays, right? Let me phrase this the right way. Nowadays, you can have an agent, right? So how much does the agent play a part in getting you in those draft slots? Or obviously your play has to be top tier, but how much does signing with an agent play a part?
I don't know if it plays a big part, but it does play a part because it's relationships. So that agent may have a relationship with that general manager,
right,
or the owner, whatever the case may be, and they may have just a trust between each other, and he might the management or the general manager or the owner might trust his word or trust his body of work of having players in the past that was pretty good. And instead of going with a certain guy that they like, they're gonna go with the guy they trust and say, well, he has a history of having good guys, preparing guys, or helping guys get to the league.
Right.
So it has. I don't think it's a significant thing, but it's definitely there.
Because we've seen like agents become heads of basketball operations or GMs now. You got Leon Rose, who was CAA, and then you had
Bob Myers with the Golden State Warriors.
Bob Myers, right, and then Rob Lowe over LA.
Right.
What's his name? I call him Rob Lowe. He looks just like Rob Lowe. Rob Pelinka. He was
right. But Pelinka was a player too.
Right. He played for Michigan, definitely.
Right. He was part of that Fab Five team.
Fab Five. Yep. No, yeah. Absolutely. So, but I mean, and that helps you as being a player also, in to ascend to those rankings. But I'm noticing that teams have been going with that route. Like that was kind of unheard of that agents made that jump. I can't think of any other agent that became like a head of a basketball operations or GM that
you hear it more recently, but those guys, for one, those guys got relationships already with the with a lot of franchises just dealing with players.
Right. Exactly.
So when you communicate with them, and the owner might say, "Well, shit, he know what he's talking about. He got a good feel for the game. He know how to run his. He's running his business as an AD, running the business. You know what I mean, pretty much. So he's capable of showing that he can run a franchise too.
Yeah.
As a general manager or something like that. All right, so I can see why franchises are going that route. Some.
And then we've seen like a Nico Harrison, who was like a pivotal part of Nike, the Nike brand. And he obviously he's just been let go by the Dallas Mavericks.
Right.
But would you think how much do you think that having a relationship in the NBA, I don't think it's as prevalent with the shoe companies really dominating like that. I mean, you've seen guys that are top players. They like Steph Curry. He's just leaving Under Armour this year. He's going to be going with his own Steph Curry brand.
Right.
Jaylen Brown. He's what, second, third highest paid player in the NBA.
Right.
And
Jaylen Brown, he was an Adidas guy, like in the high school days.
Okay.
He was an Adidas guy. He the one that got his AAU program, the Adidas deal, just because he was a high profile prospect.
Got you. He's from Cali, right? He's a Cali.
Oh, no, he's from Atlanta.
Oh, he's from Atlanta.
Yeah, he's from like Marietta area, but
okay.
Outside of right. No,
I'm thinking he's Cali because he went to Stanford.
He went to Cal. He went to Cal because Jaylen Brown went to Wheeler High School, which is the same high school as Sharif Abdul-Rahim.
Okay.
Sharif Abdul-Rahim went to Cal. They come from the same AAU program.
It makes sense.
So what I mean,
see the family tree,
right?
And the connections there. Yeah,
right.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll stay on top of this stuff, man. We'll actually be back tomorrow morning, with the NFL breakdown, and it's.
And I'll keep you posted about tomorrow because I do I got a scout. So I'm going to a Houston Auburn game tomorrow.
Okay.
So I have to scout that game. So I probably could peek in tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. But
I like this earlier start time. I want to try to but it's all day based on what everybody else. So shout out to Christy. I didn't make her party, man. My wife wasn't feeling good, and I didn't feel like going by myself.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else really wanted to go, and I was trying to hit some people up. Yo, you want to go to this thing in the Bronx? Man, work tomorrow.
Yeah. On a Thursday night, it's kind of tough.
Pockets is not right.
Right.
So yeah.
How she said go though?
I haven't spoke to her. I peeked in on one of her lives. It looked like it was going up. I was listening to what the DJ was playing, and she loves an A Boogie. So,
she loved A Boogie.
When A Boogie came on, she was dancing, blowing her hookahs and all that. So it looked like
she was lit. Then.
Hopefully, she'll be on tomorrow. She might still be recovering. I don't know.
Damn.
No, because she went out last night again, I think, for her birthday. It's
so she turned up
celebration, one of those.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see though. Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow morning, hopefully. If I can get everybody in the mix. It's hard to do a show by myself. You see, I would defer to, because like I said, I'll have to do a whole show on like NBA and NFL because I'm not as knowledgeable with the college football and college basketball as you guys are, man. I learn a lot from you guys just listening to your insight. So
just keep me in the loop. And if I'm here, if I can make it, I'm here.
All right, I got you, man. So we out of here. Thanks to everybody that tuned in. And we'll be back tomorrow.
All right, that's fun.
Right. Had to do it to him. Cock back if a nigga front, I'ma pop that. Got straps,